Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode on deck. I'm Russ Morgan. We're here on FTSN. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday night here on December 3rd. Year seems to be flying by. Baseball right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers report in February. We got spring training coming up. Got the World Baseball Classic coming up soon. We're coming in March. I got winter meetings starting next week on the 8th here in Orlando, Florida. So there's always action going on there, and always action during the winter meeting. So I'm expecting some moves for that one for the winter meetings because there's always signings, always trades. During the winter meetings. Excuse me. So I'm expecting a lot of movement. And did have a couple moves earlier this week and today. Jays added Cody Ponce, former KBO MVP. Cody Ponce was signed for 3 for $30. He's 31. He was 17-1 with a 1.89 ERA, 252 Ks, and 180 and 2/3 innings pitched. So we'll see what he does. Excuse me. But Jays continue to add some pitching to their depth. I think that's a lower signing, but I think it's good if depending where you slot him. If you slot him as starter, it's a guy who can get you innings out of the bullpen, which I think that bullpen definitely needs a longer reliever guy in the bullpen for the Jays. What we saw during the playoffs and the World Series, they definitely did. They had one or two go-to guys, but they were throwing them every game. I think they could use a long inning guy. We saw what Chris Bassett did in October. I think he could fill that role nice. If Chris Bassett leaves, Mets signed Devin Williams to a 3-year deal, $51 million. Was once the best closer in baseball before Pete Alonso broke him in Milwaukee. I definitely had a bad year with the Yankees. 4.79 ERA. Saved 18 games and 22 appearances, but definitely had a very down year from a guy who was great last year with in 2024 with the Brewers. Definitely a down year on his part. Orioles signed Ryan Helsley, excuse me. It was definitely unbelievable with the Cardinals. Got traded to the Mets and definitely did not have a good time in Queens there at a 7.20 ERA. So we'll see what he gets back to form. Definitely, he had some interest too from teams interested in him becoming the starting pitcher, but he goes with the Orioles where he'll stick in a role that's a little more familiar to him coming out of the bullpen. Angels signed Alex Manoah 1 year to a $1.015 million deal. This is a guy who had an unbelievable year, former Cy Young candidate, but definitely fell to the wayside and couldn't figure it out. So we'll see what he did. See what he does in Anaheim. And then the signing today is the Tampa Bay Rays signed Cedric Mullins to a 1-year deal after getting traded to the Mets. So that's another. It's a good. It's definitely a Rays pickup, but it's a good. If he gets back to form, that's a solid deal. Looks like they're getting back to the Tropicana this season. They put the roof back on, which got ripped off during Hurricane Helene. I don't know what they're doing in the field because the field got destroyed too during that hurricane. But we got winter meetings coming up. Well, you know what? Winter meetings will always see some trades. I'm wondering. I think there's a couple big names that with some log jams that I could see getting traded. And the one name that keeps on popping, there's a couple names keep on popping up. The one name keeps on popping up is the Red Sox. Definitely have log jam. You have Jared Duran, you have Will Abreu, you have Roman Anthony, and then you have Cedon Rafaela, who's one of the best defensive center fielders in the game, who has to go play second base. What are they going to do with that logjam in the outfield? I think they end up either you're not getting rid of Roman Anthony. Obviously, we all saw what Roman Anthony did when he was healthy. When he was healthy, he was great. What are they going to do? Are they going to get rid of Abreu? Who at one point was in that rookie of the year conversation? Are they going to get rid of Duran? Excuse me. I think they end up getting rid of Duran. He's a little on the older side. I think you can get something for Duran, a bullpen piece that Boston desperately needs. I think you keep Abreu. You got to put Abreu there. I think in the outfield, you've got to, for the Red Sox, keep Rafaela in center field because he's such a good defensive center fielder, and Roman Anthony, who's looking like he's one of the better young players in the game right now. So I think if it comes down to that, I think his name will get thrown out more, and I've seen his name thrown out. Obviously, some other name. I mean, Stephen Kwan's been one big name being thrown out. I don't see a Stephen Kwan trade. I know the Guardians had entertained it at the trade deadline, but I don't see a trade like that happening for a young guy who's still got a couple years of club control. I could definitely see a trade. Brendan Donovan's been one name who's been thrown out with a lot of teams. The Yankees in on him, Dodgers in on him. The Mets have been on him. I know what people say. The Dodgers is definitely, it's would be a thing of riches if Dodgers get him. But they've definitely had a hole at second base for a while there with they platooning it with Edmund, who was hurt, with Kim, who definitely didn't get any role in the playoffs, and with Rojas, who is retiring but says he wants to come back, but he's definitely not a starting second baseman. I could see that happening because the Dodgers have a lot of ammo to work with that the Cardinals would like. They have a lot of good young players in their farm system that would intrigue the Cardinals in the circumstance, the way the Cardinals are going right now. So it would be something of riches. Dodgers get them, but I have Brendan Donovan's one name to keep an eye out for during the winter meetings coming up here. Trevor Meagle might be one name to watch too. Who's one of the better closers in baseball this year, but the Brewers are already concerned about their upcoming payroll. So we'll see what they do there. It's definitely Meagle, and then Freddie Peralta. Will he get traded? He's got the highest on there. We've seen the Yankees and Brewers make deals in the past. That would be a very good pickup for the Yankees to strengthen that bullpen. But if they're already worried about that, Meagle's one of the higher, minus Peralta and Yelich, who Yelich is going nowhere. Salaries on the book for the Brewers. I think that could happen. What are the Phillies going to do? Phillies right now. You got Realmuto, who's very consistent. Great catcher, but he's 35. What will they do there? Will they look for a catcher? Uh, maybe a Ryan Jeffers who's got some club control from the Twins, and the Twins are definitely in sell mode. What they did after the trade deadline. Uh, so I think that'd be a name to watch during the trade deadline, during winter meetings. Excuse me. I mean, there's a few other. I think Ketel Marte is a name to watch. I don't know where Ketel Marte goes. I think he's gonna. He's 32. He's a very popular name on the trade market right now. 32. I mean, he's signed for 6 years, 105 million. I don't know where Marte would go. I've seen Seattle. I don't think Seattle would want to give up some of their prospects. Uh, but Marte's a guy who could shift the lineup. I've seen the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees need another left-handed bat in there unless they would find a way to remove one of their lefty bats like a Chisholm. But I mean, this is a guy who could shift the roster from a postseason contender to in the postseason competing for a World Series. But I mean, he's an impact second baseman. So I think that's definitely a name you're gonna have to watch. And then I can't give you names, but the Mets are definitely going to be a name to watch. I don't know who the Mets are going to go after. It's definitely the Mets are definitely a hot team to go. But I mean, we got winter meetings coming up. I mean, there's going to be high names. Kyle Schwarber seems to be a really guy who's getting a lot of action right now. A lot of buzz around Kyle Schwarber. Where will he go? Will he go back to the Phillies? He's definitely got some. He's a DH now, but you've seen the Phillies, you've seen the Red Sox. Maybe they want to try to fill that DH role, even though they do have Yoshiba or whatever. I can't remember his name. I'm leaning towards. I think the Reds are going to try to make a big move. They made the playoffs this year. Schwarber's from the Cincinnati area. I think he's 45 minutes from Cincinnati. I could see him trying to make a big move, make a big swing. Also, been hearing the Pirates are trying to buy. They're trying to be in a buyer's mode right now. But I don't see that happening. But I mean, Schwarber's from the Cincinnati area. 40, I think. I don't know the exact where, but he's 45 minutes. He was born 40. He's from 45 minutes from Cincinnati, so that could be an intriguing one. From Valdez, I think he should be a name we'll see. Age 32, still has a great track record, great postseason experience. I think he'd be a perfect fit for Baltimore. Yes, ground ball pitcher, definitely great postseason experience. They need that starting pitcher in there. I think that'd be a great fit in Baltimore. Pete Alonso, impact. I could see Pete Alonso. It drive me nuts being a Yankees fan, but him in Boston with that short porch in left field, him just launch ankle galore. I think that'd be a perfect fit for them. They've had issues at first base with Tristan Casas not being able to stay healthy. They need an impact bat. This guy gives you 38 homers, 126 RBIs last year. You put him in Boston, I could see 45. Bo Bichette, I don't know where, but I mean, I've seen a lot of Bo Bichette interest in Bo Bichette, but I don't know where he'd go. I think his best fit for Bo Bichette would be going back to Toronto and running it back. I don't think he's a shortstop anymore. I think you put him on the right side. I don't think he has the defense to play shortstop, but he could be a good second baseman option. But I think he'd be perfect going back to Toronto and running it back. Tigers, go get a familiar guy, AJ Hinch, familiar with the Tigers. Get Alex Bregman. I think that'd be a great pickup for them. Ranger Suarez is another one. I don't know. I've been hearing Astros. That would be a solid one. I haven't seen any reports on the Astros and on them, but I would see that was a solid one. one of the big Japanese guys, Murataka Murakami. So I've seen a lot of news. Dodgers, I've seen the Yankees, I've seen Mets. I literally came out talking to my Dodgers, but Seattle. There's a big Asian population in Seattle. It's the closest you can be to Japan in the United States. I think that'd be a perfect fit for Murakami. I mean, Japanese players have success there, have had some success, with obviously Ichiro. Uh, you're probably going to lose Suarez, so you're going to lose that pop. I think he'd be a perfect fit in Seattle. I mean, you go to the East. I think the NL East is interesting because the Mets are going to be on everybody. The Mets are in on Cody Bellinger, but we've recently seen reports that I don't know how true they are that the Marlins are willing to listen on Cabrera and Alcantara, Sandy Alcantara. They're also like money apart from both Stowers and Cabrera, Edward Cabrera. What did it? I mean, this team went. They were a couple games out of the wild card. They're right there. Are they going to try to? I think Alcantara's got the. He's definitely got not a lot of money for a guy who's a former Cy Young guy who's. But I think his second half of the season, after coming back from Tommy John, he definitely showed a lot. Would you want to trade him and get pieces? I think they got to keep on going. I think they showed a little life where they can compete. They got a really good young core there where they trade. I know. We got some people on the network who would not like that, who are Marlins fans, but I don't know what you could be. You'd get a good haul, but would they be MLB ready guys? The Mets are interesting. Obviously, it could come down to Queens, Bronx this year. Cody Bellinger, Yankees, number one option is Cody Bellinger. I want Cody Bellinger back. I want a Cody Bellinger in center field, but that's not going to happen right off the bat. But you got to get Cody Bellinger back. He was such a big part of that lineup, such a big part of that defense, which was so weak in that 2024 World Series. What are they going to do with Jason Dominguez? You have Jason Dominguez, you have Spencer Jones. I think you got to trade one. It's going to be Dominguez, in my opinion. You can't just have these two great prospects who can't get time. But they need Belly back. They need Bellinger back. But also the Mets will be one. Will they steal another player from New York, from the Yankees? You trade Brandon Nimmo to the to the Rangers, so you lose that outfield spot, creating an opportunity for Cody Bellinger, who's got proven ability. Did in New York last year. He can play first base in the event you don't side Pete Alonso. He can play the outfield. He can play center field. He can play anywhere, first or the outfield where you need him to. Big left-handed bat. And we know Steve Cohen's pocketbooks are deep. What are the Phillies going to do? Are you going to re-sign Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto? They've also, you've got some good players. You got Brandon Marsh, who's a good compliment. You got Justin Crawford, who is sitting in there in the wings. I got to scout Justin Crawford as a freshman in high school. No one knew where he went. He went to some small prep school in California before he went to Bishop Gorman in Nevada. But you got him waiting in the wings. What are they going to do? You got to keep on going. I think they've got a lot of money on the books. I spoke about the Reds. I think Schwarber's their number one option. Bring him home. He's from Middletown, Ohio. So it's 45 minutes from Cincinnati. What are the Cubs going to do? You have Imanaga coming back, but you have Imanaga coming back, but you need to add that starting pitcher to that rotation. They need more than what they have to keep on competing. Brewers, I don't know where the Brewers go if they're trying to cut. We'll see what the Pirates do in the NL Central. D-backs, I mean, this is definitely who had a lot of hope with the Diamondbacks. Going in when they signed Corbin Burns, they lose Corbin Burns for this year. So I think it's going to be a youth move for them. I've been seeing maybe Okamoto, who's a third baseman. Rockies, well, what was the Rockies just did something. Rockies just signed a GM. Rockies signed to have a general manager. Also, I think what does Luis Roberts do? Definitely seen that name for a long time. Joe Ryan's another one. What do those guys do over this break? Rockies, I don't know who the Rockies go after. Team's a mess. Edwin Diaz, that'll be a name to watch for the Dodgers because they desperately need that in the bullpen. We saw that bullpen was so weak. All you had was Sasaki, and Sasaki's going to be a starting pitcher. And, I mean, you signed Tanner Scott to that big deal last year. But it did not work out. So Edwin Diaz is one. The other name I'm looking is what's going to happen with Imai. I've been seeing so his name's Mets, Giants, Cubs, Yankees. I want him on the Yankees real bad. I take him, slot him into that 4 or 5. That's a name. Kyle Tucker, everybody knows. I'm in everything I watch about baseball, even though we're in the off season, I have no feel whatsoever on where Kyle Tucker is going. No feel for it whatsoever. I've heard Yankees. I've heard Dodgers. I think the Yankees are going to go Plan B. If they don't get Bellinger, but I just have no feel for that whatsoever. I like this. I'm on ESPN. I would take this. I know this wouldn't be popular, but Marlins traded Edward Cabrera to the Yankees for Dominguez if they miss out on Ime. They give him Jason Dominguez. I think that would be perfect for Dominguez. Dominguez from the Dominican Republic could be close to home. He would get a shot to play every day there. I don't think I've seen this one. A's trading for Alcantara. I'm high on the. I don't think people realize how close these A's team can be to compete in the AL West. They've got some great young players on the roster and in their farm system that can compete, obviously, with Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson, but you got some great young players. It's just I think this team is a lot closer to what we expect they will be, and they're trying to go into to Las Vegas. So I think they're a lot closer. Maybe they make a splash trade. Another name to watch over this winter meetings would be Mackenzie Gore. I mean, he's got some great qualities. I like this lefty, a frontline starter. He got some Blake Snell, little Max Fried in him. I think this would be a perfect fit for Baltimore too. But I mean, he's got some control. You don't want to trade a Basello, maybe a Beavers would be one. But I think that's definitely a name you've got to watch over this over the spring train, over this winter meetings. Mitch Keller's one with the another one to watch, which because no one knows where the Pirates are going. But I think this winter meeting is going to be interesting. That we're definitely going to get some movement. We always do. We'll see. I don't know if it's a big. Scott Boras likes to make the big splash, but he also likes to go with the big money. So it could not be a Kyle Tucker or a Cody Bellinger, who's a Scott Boras client. But I think we'll get some movement, get some players. But I want to thank everybody who would tuned in tonight for another episode on deck. Next week, might be Tuesday, might be Thursday. Had to flip some stuff around for College Blitz on Wednesday night because my co-host Q couldn't make it. Could only make it on Wednesday, so I will be putting something out for next week. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in for another episode on deck here on FTSN. Hope you have a great night.